brothers and sisters. We're going to be speaking to the Buduburam Refugee Camp leadership. They call the Association of Liberians Community in Ghana. Gentlemen, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a privilege to be.
Nice meeting you, man.
Great.
On this.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we're going to start with them one at a time. In the middle is the president of the Liberian Association, or the Association of Liberian Community in Ghana on the refugee camp. That's Buduburam, Father Eddie Divine Hennings. Father, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you very much.
So,
glad to be with you.
Great. And I want to welcome all my viewers from across the globe. This is Focus on Liberia. We want to talk to the leadership of the Buduburam Refugee Camp. That's the camp in Gomoa, Ghana, which was started in 1990. I myself, I was on the camp from 1997 to 2000. My wife today, we all met on the camp. I was right there in era age where Irede used to sell the fufu.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
So I want to take this time. So Father Ernest, just one by one, just introduce yourself, starting with you, Father Ernest, and the rest of your team.
Okay, thank you very much. Reverend Father Eddie Divine Hennings. I'm the chairman of the Association of Liberians Community in Ghana.
And I'm Ramsey Bojuakuya. I'm serving as Secretary General for the Association of Liberian Community in Ghana.
Okay, I'm Alvin S. Boss Senior, the Human Resource and Program Director for ALICO Ghana. Thank you.
Elder Moses S. Bale, Executive Head of the Arbitration.
Elder Moses, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
I'm Jangaba Emmanuel Thomas, Secretary of Arbitration, Elder Council, and then also with ALICO Ghana. Thank you.
Let me see you. We can see you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Call your name again.
I'm Jangaba James Emmanuel Thomas.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Secretary for
Great. All right. I want to say thank you for joining. It's very important that we talk to you. The last time, a lot of things have been going on. People are asking what are the people still doing on the camera, all kinds of things. So we're going to cover different topics today, just so that we can know you and know what the conditions over there look like, how you guys doing, what are the challenges, what are some of the good things happening there. So just briefly, starting with you, Father Hennings, tell me, when you got in Ghana, how long you've been there, each of you, and how your family, if you have a family there, or if you have any other connection, what are you doing?
Well, thank you. I came here September 3rd, 1990, and I'm still here yet.
Okay.
I have a company here, my wife and children. I have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. And I'm expecting 1 more to come, by the grace of God.
Great. Secretary?
And yeah, again, I'm I came to Ghana in 1999. And thank you.
Okay, like I said, I'm Alvin. I have 7 children and 2 grand. Big time, man. God is good to me, and I'm doing, good. Thank you. I came here 2000.
Okay,
22nd, 2013. I've been here 17 years now.
Okay. Jangaba.
Yeah, I'm Jangaba Emmanuel Thomas again. I've been here since 2007.
Okay.
President of my family in Liberia, and I'm in theology I did my study in biblical study in theology with a BA degree. And I'm still here, still yearning to follow up in education. Thank you.
Thank you. Elder?
Elder Moses Bale.
Elder, how long you been over there?
I've been here 17 years. I came 2002, October 15.
Oh, okay. So it look like only Father Hennings, I left there because I left from there June of 2000.
I'm telling you.
That is quite correct.
And Father Hennings, you've been there since 1990.
I came there 99, man.
Oh, 99, okay.
Okay.
Now I'm making my leader.
Great. So how things, how our football team, you got schools there, you got market, you know, the churches that were there, you know, just before we start our main topic, I just want to see how things are. We still have a refugee team that's go there to, you know, we still have schools there going on, the churches. But we got one more. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
The connection is kind of low. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. My name is Dennis Jha. Today, we are speaking with our brothers and sisters at the Buduburam Refugee Camp in Ghana. The camp was established in early 1990 when the war was raging in Liberia. We have people that went there since 1990 and they are still there. As you can see, those that I'm talking with today, that's the leadership of the group. And some of them have been there as far back as 1999. And we have an internet connection. They will be joining us shortly. But what happened is a few days ago, or a week or two ago, there was a swoop, a military and police operation on the camp. A lot of people, they went there by 3 a.m. to search the area because of alleged criminal activities that were going on there. I think sometime before that, there was 2 policemen were killed in Kasoa, that's an area near the camp. So it looked like anytime there is a crime, people are suspecting that the refugee community or the camp is harboring some bad people. So as a result, the police, they are carrying on an entire operation, they said, throughout Ghana, starting with, I think, the Western region, where there have been reports of some criminal activities. So the camp, they went there and arrested over 140 persons, took them to Accra for screening. So we're going to get details from our brothers and sisters. And the question most of you have been asking is, what are they still doing on the camp? So they will be joining us, and we're going to be opening the phone lines to so that you can join the conversation. I'm going to be posting the conference call line shortly so that we can all discuss and you talk to your brothers and sisters. We want to know how they are doing, what's going on over there, and why are they still there in the first place. I think in 2012, the camp was officially closed. So right now, I think ALICO has stepped in and we're going to be hearing from them. So their status have changed. They are no longer refugees. They call them former refugees. So they were issued equals or passport so that they could integrate into society and also find work. But I think from what I read, making research on this show, integration has not been easy. It has been a tough one integrating. So they are there, and some found it very hard to go home. Some went to Liberia and they returned. Most of them, like in the 2000, there was a high, there's a resettlement program going, taking people from Ghana to the United States, Europe, Australia, and other parts of the world. But probably that is not ongoing, but some are still hoping to travel. Some have other issues for which they are there. So we're going to be hearing from all of them today on the camp. They will be joining us shortly. And just to make this very participatory, I will be posting the conference line so that we can all talk about this. The conference line is posted while they are away. You can join the line, you can join the conference. I will put you on mute. And if you're ready to talk, just let me know, and then we can open the line up that you can join the conversation. We still have refugees, and what I understand, there's another refugee camp besides the Buduburam Refugee camp. So we're going to be talking to them. It looks like they are having some technical difficulties at their end. As soon as they join, we're going to be interviewing them to see what conditions look like. As you can see, some are going to school, some, some probably working or engaged in some form of business. When I too was on the camp, religious activities are very high on the camp. So I want to see. I left from there 2000 to come to the States, and we want to see how things are there. So if you are here and want to join the conversation, you can call our conference line. The number to call, and we can all, just discuss, is 712-770-8002, and the conference code is 229545. Again, this is Focus on Liberia. We are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Well, we all have refugee story. I too have been refugee in the early 1990s in Guinea, in Nigeria, in Ghana, before traveling to the States. So I was fortunate to be here. We may not have, just hold on, they are calling me on. Hello? Hello? No, you don't have to call. Don't call me on Facebook. Don't call me on Facebook. Go back to the conference, go back to the URL and click on that link. Go back to your email and click on the link to join. All right, we have good news. They are coming. And if you have any question for them, call in to ask your question, or you can post it. The video containing the police operation that was carried on the camp and people talking about it, that is posted on Focus on Liberia page. You can watch that and see what conditions look like. And we want to also ask them if they have intention returning. We want to see if you have questions for the government of Liberia, if anything is being done about returning them. There was a repatriation in 2000. The first repatriation was around 1997 during the election that brought to power President Charles Taylor. Since then, the camp has been closed officially and their status have changed. So from what I read, they are no longer calling them refugees. They are saying former refugees, but they are there. And sometimes it's very, very difficult finding job. Some find it very hard to integrate into the Ghanaian society. They got like ECOWAS passport, but that passport is supposed to use that. I think there was when ECOWAS came to being, there was an ECOWAS protocol that entitled all West Africans to travel throughout the ECOWAS country and seek greener pasture. So it is that status that they have moved into, but I don't think the ECOWAS passport is doing anything much for them. We will welcome them back very shortly. They are having some technical difficulties, so please bear with us. In the meantime, if you want to join the discussion, please call the conference call number. That's 712-770-8002, 229-545, that's the code. And if you know anything about refugees, this thing, they sometimes move through stages. You are a refugee, and then from some time they say, well, you have to integrate or you go back. And we want to see our policymakers back home, what's the level of preparation being made to absorb people or to accept them or to integrate back into All right. Thank you so much for bearing with us. We are having some technical difficulties. I understand the sentiments are that the war is over, they need to return. Just let's wait and hear from them. And you can call in even while they're away. We can discuss. We can discuss why you think, what the challenges are. Some of those of you who are familiar with the refugee situation across the world, you can make your contribution. Our guests will be joining us shortly. Some are very skeptical of, or some are mindful here because this is not the first time that that such a police operation has been carried on the camp. So what does that mean? There are some who are calling for the demolition of the camp. There's another video that's on YouTube where the chief in that area, in that we used to call it the village, people are claiming that they own the land where the refugee live. So they want their land. I think there's a court battle, there's court thing going on as to who the land belongs to. And sometimes other Ghanaians look at the Liberians negatively, that that area is infested with crimes and so they should leave. So these are all challenges. We want to hear from our brothers and sisters on the camp, how they are coping. Sometimes we hear report that other national people have joined them. And there was a video that where they asked, because they say, people joined. In fact, the over 140 persons that were arrested and taken to the camp to Accra for screening, at the time of the video I watched, only 4 Liberians family had claimed that their relatives were taken. So of the 144 persons, not many of them may be Liberians who will want to hear the details about that from our guests. So there are other nationals that joined them. So they were asking, but how come we got other people on the camp? They say, well, at a time of repatriation, because the houses on the camp or those places on the camp were built by Liberians. So if you are about to be repatriated to Liberia, the UNHCR or whatever agency that was responsible for that gave them some money, I think $5 and then 50 kilos of rice. So that is enough. So what the people did was to sell their houses to people. So you don't care who's buying your house, you sell your house and get some money and go back to Liberia. So it looked like what they were trying to imply was sometimes those houses are sold to people that are potentially criminals, and those are the ones that are responsible for some of the activities. They admit that there are some activities, some criminal activities going on in the camp, but they are minor ones, like a theft, burglary and those things. But for armed robbery, killing of police officers, they say Liberians on the camp are not responsible. So we'll listen to them, discuss, and tell their story, and see what we all can learn from them, what we can do to salvage the situation. But for now, I'm waiting for them to join me back online so that we can carry out the discussion. It looked like they are having some trouble joining. And if you are available and you want to join the discussion, you can call the number and you can join and we can have a conversation while we await our guests. The big question is, what are they still doing in Ghana? And we're going to find that out. What are you doing? And what are some of the things that can make you return? What do you need You know, or is it that you are still looking at a third country for asylum? Because you've seen other, and it's something that people need to watch. And Mr. Josh Henning, yeah, I see that brother on the. Let me see if you can. How does it look like bringing somebody on online, and whether that's going to be reflected? So, you know, these are some of the challenges. Refugees are still on the camp. We all lived there before. We were fortunate to be resettled in the United States. We want to see if others have that opportunity. And if you don't have that opportunity, what can you do? Some have returned to Liberia and they have started life. Some, their life, you know, way better than when they were on the camp. For some, things are not that great, but some, they live way better life. So there is no magic bullet as to where you can make a successful life. They say we are all citizens of the world, so wherever you find yourself doing well, you can stay there. You know, bloom wherever you are planted. So things are not just as easy as they may seem, and we want our brothers and sisters to make the best out of every situation. So let's see, if you're just joining us, we are going to be speaking to the leadership of the Liberian refugee community, or former refugees as they call them now. I will try once more to see if they are available. If not, we will have to postpone the show, but we will wait a few minutes to see if they can come on. And if you want to join the discussion either on Facebook or by calling the conference line, feel free. Mr. Joseph Sakor, call the number and let's talk about Liberian refugees. You're very knowledgeable on the refugee situation. I want you to, you know, walk us through what, you know, some of the refugee conditions around the world, what it would take for these refugees, whether it's people actually do, you know, break down camps and let the refugees return, or if there are instances where some of these refugees never return and they permanently integrate into their host country. Again, our conference call numbers: 712-770-8002. You have the code 229545. We are still waiting for the refugee community there to join us.
Mantamu, Yanyantia, say, I should have for Bessa, Hensia, a post for Eka home, and a woman I call Buduburam, Omokoya day. And was as Mantonian in Comona, and some more Akoso Elhono, or Moyaman, set to see a camera hang. Set to see a camera.
That's the wrong clip, but that's a clip on the Buduburam community. But that's not what we want to show you. You look for another clip, the one that's in English, so you can get a sense of what went down on the camp.
To do, because assessing the community will give a better idea, to people of how we live here. The first thing is that, I can speak on behalf of my people. Liberians are very calm, and we all appreciate the coming of the security forces. As I always say, Ghana have one of the best security forces, and the operation is very important. So the police know what they are doing, the army know what they are doing, the government know what it is doing. And so it is important that we have this to assess the community, to give a better perspective, concerning our people here.
As for the exercise, I'm very much happy because it don't involve brutalities. Those who were comprehended by the police in the morning were treated fairly. They were put on board the car, politely walked in the car, and so there was no resistance. And so I think the police are doing a good job. And even though that they arrested, they also helping the police to carry the investigation done properly. There was no violence, there was no resistance to police requests and for the investigation. So I think it's in a good direction. That after the investigation, those who are not involved into any criminal act, they should allow them to return to their real families in the camp. That would be a good thing and whatever that is. So what they are done is very important for those that are innocent. Because there are other people who went to the horses and they helped them to the horses and then bring them out. So I know that the police are trained, they will carry out an investigation. So if there's anything that they can investigate on those that are innocent, they are feeling that they should release it.
That was a reaction to the police operation on the camp by the leadership of the Buduburam Refugee Camp. Some of you recognize that some of them are the ones that we're going to be having on the show today. So for some reason, I'm still not able to get them back on. I'm still waiting to see what the situation is. If they are not available, we can always reschedule, but we are having it difficult to get them back on the show. I'm trying to connect them. And so for those of you who are, you have questions, some of those questions are still being asked by many of you as to why, and I'm curious to hear from them what they are still doing. So just bear with us. They are coming back very soon. They have a connection issue and they are coming back very, very soon. maybe that should tell us that things are just not fine. I will look for one more clip that is a little more detailed, so you can have an idea of yeah.
It's a new era and new strategies are required. Well, that's the approach with which the police is dealing with crime now. In what police says is an intensified war against crime, it is employing preventive measures, including cordon and set swoops, intelligence-led operations, as well as, among others, the operations are being carried out in collaboration of other state agencies. In the statement this afternoon, and in that statement, what they
Hello.
do, the statement,
All right.
and what it says. It's the media join.
Okay.
All right, Father Hennings.
Yes.
Welcome back to Focus on Liberia. Let's go straight into it now. What?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good. A lot of people want to know, before we even go into anything, they want to know, what are you still doing on the camp? Just tell us briefly, why are you still there?
Well, thank you for this opportunity. We want to say thanks to our many viewers and listeners. This is an opportunity, to express all that we have to say to you and answer your questions. To go straight into the question, the reason why we can't go back. Well, we did not come to Ghana, as economic refugees or, as migrants who just moved from one place to another. We came because of the civil crisis back home. And in the process of dealing with United Nations, according to the protocols, and conventions thereof, it is not just easy for everyone to go back home at the same time. There are processes that involve. Remember, it's also how to take an issue of security and the choice. And so, based on the exercise that the United Nations, have to carry us through, it happened that some other people, made various choices pertaining to what they gave us. Others were able to go back home, while others were, still remain here. And there are due processes that they have to carry you through. And within that process of carrying you through, that we have to wait. And secondly, there are a lot of things that are involved. And so, it's just not an easy thing to go back home, where there are a lot of things, that are the international community look at, and they will not just allow everybody to go back home. The second thing is a matter of security and personal matters. So no one is forced actually to go back home. And secondly, you remember that when people leave their country, they look for greener pasture and a better life. And to go back home is just not an easy thing. Just how you left during the time of the war, you cannot go back home like that after you have stayed, for some time to where we find ourselves, to just go back home, and it's not an easy thing. We need to contribute tremendously to the development of our country. We don't want to be liability. And so we believe that there are due processes, of the national conventions and exercises that we'll have to go through. It is not just a common thing to do,
right. Anybody want to add to that?
Thank you.
Yes, I also want to add on to the chairman. Like what he said, it is true that everybody cannot leave for Liberia at the same time. Just the same way we all left the war, but we had different reasons for which, and we left home. And came a point where those that are related to the refugee and the government agencies that are directly related to refugees came to the point where they asked people for the choices. A lot of people choose to go in Liberia at the time because they are prepared to go home at that time. And some of us, we said, well, we are not in the position to do so. So the option available to us was to choose integration. And so as of now, the integration process has not yet ended. And so this also keeps us in Ghana. because this is why we choose we choose to stay in Ghana. That is why we are staying here. But for those who actually decide to go back home, who feel that they are safe returning home, they are left already. You understand? And so some of us who are here, we are not yet prepared to go to Liberia. And I look at the number of years we've been in exile. I went back home, you must have a kind of security for which you want to go back home. Even those who went, we found out that the government doesn't have any program and that will allow them to be integrated into Liberian society. So it's also a challenge. And so some of them even return to Ghana after they have left. So you can see that Liberia is not yet prepared to receive people in large number from exile. And so it's not something that we can afford, but those who actually ready, they can take that decision. But in Ghana, it's not that we have pleasure living in Ghana, but there are other things that constrain us to be here. Liberia is our home, we could go there anytime, but there are a lot of problems that keep you here, for which we are staying in Ghana. Even though it's not that life in Ghana is okay with us, no, but that's the only choice we have for now. Yeah.
So what will it take, for you to either integrate into the Ghanaian society or go back to Liberia? And any one of you can answer this. What will it take for you to go back to Liberia?
Well, so far it takes nothing, but when we talk about integration, first and foremost, we need to be relocated. That has not been done yet. Relocation.
Relocated
okay. And then
in Ghana?
Yes, they have places where they're supposed to relocate with that took integration and give some packages, which is not yet done.
When you
it's
say
like a game that
packages, meaning money, or what is that?
Scholarship, dwelling place, self-contained, and you name it. It's like a game they're playing. After the 90 minutes, we have five
Okay. We are having some connection problem again on the side.
Or half time.
Okay.
And the refugee who opted for integration, they'll be for their kids and those who are school going age. There'll also be
we lost them again. As you can see, even though the connection at the end was bad, but what they're saying is it takes processes for them to either return to Liberia or be integrated into the Ghanaian society. So it takes time because the integration process has not started. And what is required for the integration is there are stages, and those stages have not started, and they are trying to go through the process. Yes, hello. So approximately,
yes.
Okay. How many Liberians are now on the camp approximately? And what are the different categories? Is everybody there want to be integrated in society, in the Ghanaian society, or there are other people who want to go to a third country or asylum, other people want to return? What are the different subcategories or subgroups?
Okay, those that are integrated in the Ghanaian society who opted for integration are 3,400.
Okay.
But the condition that was explained to us, nothing at all is happening. So it is difficult for us to now say we want to stay in Ghana. So we are still asking them, if you can fulfill those promises you made, then you will gather in here. But other than that, we are asking them for third country of asylum.
Okay. So when is your red line? At what point you will say, this thing is not working? Because let's say if the integration process take the next 10, 20 to 40 years, what's the plan B?
Plan B, as we speak now, we are almost to plan B, because almost everything that they promised, we are not seeing anything. So we continue to ice them, because you can't continue telling all wait, and we stay on the waiting list. So at the end of the year, if we don't get anything good from them, then we ice them. What next to do?
And I'm asking you, so if nothing, then what next? Any of you can answer.
Yes, the issue is that many people are desiring to return home if there is no way at all. Secondly, people have their, their choice to make. Everyone has his own choice to make where to go. But we are saying we want to advocate for the better life of our people. So the best is the third option will be for another place where we will enable our lives to be better off.
And also, look at the estimated figure of refugees. We are up to 14,000 plus here in Ghana. And we are into different categories. We have integrated people. Number is up to 350. And we have those who also came to Ghana in 2003, who did not and registered by UNHCR. They are still here. They are in good number, up to 5,000. And then we have another group of people who said they can go Liberia. Now can they stay in Ghana? They are up to 400%. And then another group, they were screened. And then some of them, the government picked them and said, well, they are the one they consult to. They want to continue to be refugee. They are up to 2,000 plus, and so that's the kind of category we and the Liberian refugees are in Ghana. And so for those who were not registered at all, one of the options they were considering is if there is any means, for them to be repatriated to Liberia, they would like that, because UN is saying that they are not still recognizing them as refugees, even though they came to Ghana during the war, but they are not in their database. And so such category of person, we are pleading, if there will be any means to have them return home, it will be something that they welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody adding before I come up with my next question? So from what I read, that by 2012, the whole idea of refugee status ceased. So they are now referring to you as former refugees. And there was an equal passport. So you had two options, which was to integrate. And since integration was being, delayed or is not working, so the other option was you were being issued equals documents so that you can use the equals, I think 1979 protocol, to move about in equals countries and find work. Is that a true, explanation that you are no more refugees, you are former refugees, and you should either integrate or find work, but you are still not finding work?
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Come in the picture.
Are we freezing again?
All right. I said thank you. I'm Alvin.
Okay. Just for the audience who didn't know you, before you talk, just say your name again, and then you answer the question.
Okay. I am Alvin S. Ball Sr. I am the Human Resource and Program Director for ALICO Ghana. And I'm privileged to be on this program to talk to you today. To answer your question, when they brought the option and the integration, they gave us a document. In that document, they said that our cases are being processed. So when they issued that, what they call grant money, they told us, they gave us something that we're going to call it testimonial legal resident status. All right. So when you come to integration, when we actually conceptualize the obstacle of integration, it's like they issues are not being done with. So if they can call us former Liberian refugees, then they are getting it wrong, because if you give me a status and you say this, the paper I'm giving you or the document I'm giving you, you are still being processed. In as much as you are being processed, you're going to enjoy international protection. Apparently, when I'm still enjoying international protection and my kids are being processed, then you're not taking away from me the status of being under you and the UNHCR as refugees. Okay, so right now they told us that there will be a package. Let us agree. For some of us, yes, it's someone who is about 70 years old, and you kept the person in suspense, and the person is here. What become of the person if the person go home? Right now, they're not even bringing empowerment. The option is that they accept it. UNHCR say, look, these are the options. Repatriation, give them package, and local integration. The local integration is supposed to mean that the tripartite agreement, which is signed by both Liberia, UNHCR, and Ghana government, number one, there should be an accommodation, benefits, and security. Now, so I've not done all of that.
So who is responsible to make sure that this agreement holds, that it happens?
Ghana Refugee Board and UNHCR and the Liberian government.
The tripartite agreement.
The tripartite agreement are three persons. You know, when you talk about tripartite, you're talking about three people coming together and signing a kind of understanding. All right. So if you say the integration, if UNHCR is saying, look, this is what in the agreement. If you accept to integrate me, it means you got placed based on the agreement made. Because
so if one party renege on their agreement, what happens?
There's a fall.
There's a breach. You see, there's a breach. But that they don't want to tell us. Even as we speak, someone will come, they put names on the board, verification, they will do that. Or as we speak, other passports are being withheld. Just imagine, you gave me passport, my passport is expired. Miracle Boy, and who is my sixth son, get been issued passport. Somebody who is 5 years been issued passport, you're not going to use it apparently. And my passport expired, I had a father. You understand? So the sad thing is, the previous government didn't do well, because if you enter into agreement with people, take the consideration of your people's lives at stake.
Right.
And
that was my point, because let's say if Ghana is responsible to do X, Y, Z, and Ghana say, well, I don't care. What is your government doing, or what is UNHCR doing? Who's supposed to look out after your well-being?
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just come in to speak on one issue concerning the integration package. Now, one of the things we know about integration has to do with employment. Now, it has been said on several occasions, for which the Ghanaian government is saying that they cannot employ, or they have no market for refugees to be employed, for which they can allow integration. Now, if they have said such a thing, then why should we? Or they say that we are former refugees, when these things are all in the package, as Brother Bob have been saying. So these are things we have to look at, and this is why we are appealing to UNHCR. If they cannot meet this obligation, then of course get us to their country of asylum. And it is necessary. I think it is our right and privilege to request for if the tripartite agreement cannot hold. It is our right. And this is why, as a leader of Buduburam camp and the Liberian people, this is why we are pursuing these things, that it be met. So I want us all to look at this issue carefully. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, my name is Rasequia, Secretary General of ALICO Ghana. We also hold our government responsible because what we realize in the past and now, our government does not show concern to our citizens, particularly those in Ghana. Most of the time when we are affected and then we try to crave government attention on those things, they show no concern. In fact, one of the mistakes the government made is to even allow her to issue passports to our citizens in Ghana who are willing to be integrated. They should have been led with the government of Ghana to give us a document and or UNHCR to know that we are integrated instead of carrying our country passport. So that area, our government, we have serious problem with our government. Even now, with the expired passport that we had, we've been competing with our government. If they can even come in to have the passport renewed, but they remain unconcerned. So our government, we really, if our government will come out of the shit to approach or press or let's say press upon the government of Ghana that look, my citizens in your country, I have the challenge, and I want you to work on, because as a country, I fulfill my part of the agreement. So if you cannot reach yours, then you should take that kind of kill. But as of now, there's no statement from our government. There's no message from our government. We end up everything just remain quiet, and I hate to say we are not the country.
You're right. And I too, I'm a father. I have children. You know, I have a family, so I know what it means. If you have a family, you are looking after them, and you want the best for them. You know, especially when you reach certain point, the concern is no longer on you now; it's on the children that you've brought forth into this world. So
exactly.
So now I'm saying you have your little ones who look up to you. So
yes,
if these people fail you, you know, Ghana is not doing their part. UNHCR is not, you know, forcing anybody to do their part. Even your own government has, brother, the Secretary Kuya has said, your own government is not doing much, you know, to make sure that you are taken care of, or what was agreed upon in the agreement, in the tripartite agreement, as you stated, is not being adhered to. So it comes to you now as a father responsible for your children. Personally, what do you do? I can, you know, I've not found myself in that position, so I can't imagine it. But so what are the other options available to you? What can you do now as a person?
Thank you. There is an international agency, you know, a greater body that is responsible for the local headquarters here, and that has to do with the UNHCR and its main office, the United Nations. You know, the headquarters is in New York or Geneva, and these things, you know, they have to come in because they have, you know, all of the rules and regulations to follow. They have all of the guidelines to follow. And if one sector of it is not functioning well, then they must be told, and they must, you know, we must be heard. So I have to do the right thing, because if it is not Liberians today, it could be another person or another group of people. With this kind of a situation, you know, it has us, you know, it's set the situation back for Africans as a whole. So we want to set good examples that such a thing will not occur anymore. And so we're trying to pursue the right channel to have our grievances heard and the problem solved.
And I'm really sorry for what you're going through. I know what it means to be in a refugee camp and just hope and hope and hope for things to get better. And it don't seem to be that way. I see where you're coming from, and I really understand, you know, why it's so difficult to go home or do something, because your entire life is on hope. Thomas Awaji is saying, what is the real reason these guys don't want to go home? What will you tell Mr. Thomas Awaji as your real reason not wanting to go back to Liberia?
Yeah. Well, it's not an issue of not wanting to go back Liberia. You know, it's not an issue of not wanting to go back Liberia. The issue is justice that is denied, you know, must be brought to limelight so that it will not occur. we are facing.
If the people don't care, what will you do?
Okay.
These people, yeah, African countries sometimes they kill their own people. So if they don't care about you and you keep saying justice, your life, your children's life, your grandchildren's life, they are at stake, and they may not move on to the kind of things that you hope for. All of us, we hope for our children.
We have a future, you know, to build, and we have our children's future, you know, to look at. And whenever these things are not working, then the better choice will be made.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I want us to move on and talk about the recent police activity because, first of all, who live on the camp now? Is it all Liberians? Do you have other nationalities? Do you have Ghanaians? How does the camp? I left 2000, so I can't even imagine. I learned Kasuma is a big city now. So how is it? Who lives there now?
Dennis, please, I want to elaborate on something very short on the previous question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Please, let me just give me 2 minutes to address that. Then we can go to your next.
Sure.
Now, going back Liberia is very good. Now, but if you are talking about going back to Liberia and they are giving you $5 in order for you to go and reestablish your life, tell me, after you have spent so many years and you get back home, there is no place, your own people don't receive you. Tell me, how can you go back? Because when we all started this in 2010 to 12, people agreed to go back home. But can't you imagine when the people went back home with all the promises not were met? Look at a farmer who is going back home with his family and little belongings, giving him $5 US to establish his life. When we went on our people went on a rampage that no, this one is very small, even the kilos for which they have to take their belonging is small. What happened? It brought a serious issue, and our government, as what previously said, nothing was done by our government. We went to the embassy. They did not say anything about it. All of the situation we have been facing, our own embassy have not been speaking. So if your own country cannot speak and you're talking about going back home, tell me, a lot of our brothers, we have heard information that most of our brothers who left from here and went back home, they are involved in so many criminal acts because they cannot cope with the situation there.
Right.
And that's why we are still into the international community. It doesn't matter, but if we want to go, they want us to go back. Let there be sufficiency of things on that we will be able to enable us to establish. One of the things we even appeal for that when we get back, if they can give it a piece of land or spot a big or self-contained building for us, then of course many people are willing to go back. But how can you go back? And we all know the devastation of Liberia. Houses was broken, burned, and you don't have anywhere to start. And one of the most discouraging things, and put you into Monrovia, a man who left on his country from Grand Jira, Nima County, and all of those places, and you send him to Monrovia where there's no job opportunity. Job is scarce. Now we have also get to understand even the economic of our country is dominated by foreigners, and our government are sitting. These people have seized the economic, and they have voice controlling our government on the economic side. So why?
No, so, I just wanted to inject that even though some who went back from Ghana may not be doing well, but there are some that are doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some Liberians, you know, that left and went to Liberia from Ghana, and they are doing very well. So as you talk about the $5 and all those things, so if you were to put together a package, let's say you write out a proposal of what you need, that if that thing is provided, the next day you will be on the plane or the ship or the boat to Liberia. If you were to put together a package that will help you resettle in Liberia, what would that look like?
We have done that. No. You understand?
Just tell me how that looked.
Yeah. Yes, like I said, there are people in Ghana, some Liberians in Ghana who plan to return, but they are looking at situation and in Liberia that when they get there, they don't have any means of surviving. So if there is
right. So just draw a picture for me. What do they need as of today that when we get this, we'll be on our way?
So we need housing facility. We'll return home where we can stop.
For how long? You mean like temporary housing or some where you will live forever?
100 unit plus housing. Oh yes, it could be temporary, fine. If you get, I mean, once where you can get fresh to start your life. So it will be something temporary, okay. That's the first thing. And then then that to capital to even start your life. You understand? Another thing, education is another thing. There should be a kind of preparation library when we get there, you can be able to integrate into the society. So if those things are put into perspective, and then we can move in.
Brother Dennis, Brother Dennis.
Yes, sir.
As leader of your people, you make the greater sacrifices. Most of us have opportunities by the grace of God. But when we abandon our people and just leave them, we make the sacrifices to talk, on behalf of our people. A majority of the people here, are below living standard.
Yeah.
The situation they face is not just an easy one. It's easier to say, go back home.
Yeah.
But we're making the sacrifices for our people and we stand up for them. We will not abandon them here. As a priest, I have the opportunity to travel to the US and I can live Accra and many of us here could. But when justice is delayed, is justice denied. Look, this thing cannot continue in Africa. When we are good to other people, look at the Ivorians, look at the Sierra Leoneans. Our government made laws, on their behalf and gave them places. Why don't they fight for their own citizens? Why is it that the government is turning the back on their own people? And people are asking the question, why don't you come home? Everyone who is out of the country have the blessing and privilege, to contribute to the development of the nation. And that's the zeal of people who are outside of the country. The joint forces of people who are in to contribute to the development of the country. And that is the better life we are looking for our people. So if about 50,000 people should leave from here and go back to Liberia, it will affect the economy, it will affect the progress of Liberia.
Thank you, Father Hennings.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are speaking to the leadership of the Liberian Association in Ghana, and that's on the Buduburam Refugee Camp. If you want to join the discussion, call the number 712-770-8002, and the code is 229545. That is also posted on Facebook. Yeah, my question, I was coming to the recent incident on the camp, but before that, I learned that there are other refugees in Ghana that are not on the Buduburam Refugee Camp. In fact, I think his name is John. He contacted me and said he's from another Liberian refugee camp. I never heard of that camp. Are there other Liberians in Ghana, either on the refugee camp or elsewhere? And what are the living conditions like?
They are in Tekra, where they call the Crescent Camp. The Crescent Camp. Liberians are there are few, but they also face the same situation, you see. So we are working together, to see that things happen appropriately.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Your question about the camp, you are asking us about the recent situation.
Before you go to the recent situation. Before we go to that, you also want to know whether there are other Liberians who live outside Buduburam camp in other camps, and then if there's other Liberians who live in Accra and something like that. Yes, we have some Liberians who live outside Buduburam. They live in Accra. They also are people who are established. We have somebody like Edison Pajibo, who
Dr. Pajibo.
So Professor Ide, is a lecturer at Winneba University, and they'll have Dr. Huge also. He also is another professor. And then we have Some, and Dr. We.
Dr. We.
He also from Paris University is a professor and a senior lecturer there as well. And we have several of them who are well established in Ghana, apart from they being refugee and left from that stage.
Yeah, what I also read was because the refugees, the ones that have little money or the ones that are educated, that are somehow well-to-do, they say most of them have left the camp, and as a result, most of you are not able to integrate society because you don't have the requisite skills to work or to do other things that will better your life. So most of the people that are there for which things are hard is they are at the very low end when it comes to money, it comes to education, or it comes to skill. What's the real story?
That's not true. We have made sure people here. Look, there are people that were denied the opportunity, to make their life better. And it's not a situation where they don't want to make their lives better. But you see, the situation is that you will not have a balance in life altogether with everyone.
Yeah.
There are people who cannot make it at all because there were no help. They are single and they are alone. And they cannot even afford it. So is it because of that? Yes, indeed, they face life challenges. Even in normal days, life Liberia, or even right now back home, Liberia, to make it. But people are striving here to make it on their own. Give them business, and you see the turning around. You see, people have made business here on their own.
Even in America here, we
if
have
Liberia can build, they can make it on their own anyway.
Yeah.
If Liberia.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
let's say majority of the who went back home, some of them have relatives from abroad who were supportive when they were on the camp. So when those people return home, it also caused economic and situation in the camp. And it is now also true that even those who live Accra were the only educated people in Ghana, or because they were the only people that had education. We are a lot of people on the camp who also have good education. But then the issue of job in Ghana is another thing. Ghanaians, they have the xenophobia attitude. They don't just look out for and get a job. They are also struggling with the people to even have employment.
No, say that again. You say Ghanaians are xenophobic?
Oh yes, exactly. Ghanaian, they are.
There's a question here from Dave Jah. He was also on the camp. He said, how are the well-established Liberians looking out for the rest?
Liberians are supportive, in any matter. Sometimes we meet and discuss issues. And they themselves, they are also facing problems with where they are employed. We got to know the situation. They also face increment in salary, and better living incentive. But they are managing it one way or the other. So it's something that we have plenty of actions to help our people while we are here. Those who want to support them, we have a special office set aside, and we are soliciting funds, to enable ourselves. That's a Liberian spirit,
right?
So that people will be able, while in this life, to we flesh out those who are, not able to meet up with the standards of life in order to help them up. And so we have a special program for that.
Right, and I want you to talk about that special program because some of us, we too were on the camp. In fact, there is a Buduburam Refugee Association that is in the United States. So what is the program you have? Because most of the time, individual help can just go so far. But if you have a group, you have a group help, and you have a program that is designed, that is very transparent, and people know what you are doing. There can be that can attract help. So tell me about that program and how people can support that.
Well, thank you very much. a program that geared toward transfer our help, and with the help of other people, through this means we are talking right now. If anyone want to help, they can pass it through you, through your organization, and it will be a better help, because we want to be very transparent in helping our people to meet them on the ground and see visibly that they are helped. So we are transparent and we are open. We are willing, for anyone to come and check us at any time, so that directly they will face the people involved, our women who are here to help them, and then we will guide the process as well to work along with them, so that it will be direct benefit given to them or direct aid given to them, and we monitor it. So this is the program we have, that you come and you face the people themselves, you talk with them, we work together and see, how they go on from day to day. We don't want to receive money by ourselves, and just be by ourselves to use it, but we want those who are spending their money to know that we have spent it, and they can check the record and check those that we have helped or we are helping. Right. So we are transparent and open.
Right. So if you have and we can discuss more, so that we can have, if you have anything written down or on how the support can be channeled, and what is it that you're doing, if you even have sometimes people do this proposal or just a little write-up that we can also help to share with other people, we can do that. But the main problem, and what is the major problem on the camp? I saw people still, one of the videos I was watching was water is still a problem. I remember we used to get up midnight, so with your gallons. So when I came to the States, it was still hard for me to throw my gallons away. I kept empty cans for so long. Is water business still that difficult? What are some of the other issues?
No. Elder Moses Bali, water system is more easier. There's an NGO here called and Hope. They brought in pipe bomb water system. All the areas have been pumped.
Okay, good.
So water at low cost also.
Okay, good. So let's go back to the incident. I learned there are some criminal activities going on the camp, and there were two policemen or two police officers that were killed either in Kasoa or somewhere near the camp. So there has been the police and military operations in the western region and the central region. And one of those operations was performed on the camp. Tell us about what happened, what precipitated that police swoop on the camp.
Okay, just a minute before getting into that. Just give me 1 minute.
Hey, we don't want to get to this one yet.
Okay, then someone will take care of that.
Yeah, let's take care of that. I want to learn about that more.
Yes, most of the time, the issue of xenophobia keep coming up, and it is very broad in the actions and in their hate statement using the media and all of that against us. Now, most of the things that happen here is not on the camp. It happened outside of the camp, far off. It happened far off, and then you see it will be branded or used as showcase. The problem is that we really need to speak out against this, and that is what we continue to speak out, because they cannot use us for their own gain or for their own to promote what they feel like, and no criminal activity on the camp that Liberia engaged into. I will tell you, the only thing that we find and we are dealing with is the issue of drug that is imposed on the camp that we don't like, and we have taken action and continue to take action about it. But to engage into, or killing, shooting, and armed robbery, mutilations, and murder, is far beyond us. Now, recent time, the aftermath of the whole thing is that they did not even find Liberians to engage into any of this thing. So it's a sticking point altogether, and we continue to speak against it, to talk about it, that it is not right, to say such a thing about a group of African or people that come to seek refuge here, to impose, falsity or this kind of a xenophobic statement or hate statement against them. It is pathetic.
So tell us exactly what happened during this operation.
Thank you.
Liberia was arrested. Let me say this again. The police themselves know the criminals on this camp. So many times they will go in the gap, arrest those guys, carry them to Kaswa. Instead of them sending them to prison in less than 2-3 days time, they will be here. And before coming for operation, they will sometimes inform those same guys to leave the camp. And at the end of the Liberia will be the victim. So the government, again, the police, Buduburam and Kaswa are aware of the criminal activities here. Because most of the time they will raid the camp. Take the criminal to Kaswa, in less than an hour, you bring them back. So Liberia are not involved in any of those things.
And then the 2 police officers that were murdered near Buduburam, the corporate involved were all arrested. And so we don't see what prompted this military police swap in Buduburam, because they have no connection with the incident. You know what I'm saying? And the corporate, they are not from Buduburam. They are from far beyond Accra. It's just that the incident took place near Buduburam, but not within Buduburam camp. So we don't see the accent that military police will come and swap the camp, take away Liberians who were innocent of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And like what my colleague said, you see, here the police are playing politics with our lives here. We ourselves, we don't like the attitude of the police, or even what is going on in the camp. You see, people who are criminals will be arrested. Liberia will point out they've been arrested, and in the next day you see them right back to the same position. So we also are afraid, because if we continue doing that, our life will be at risk. You understand? So police are compromising.
So walk me through the night when the police came and what happened.
Okay, the arrival of the police and the militaries on camp, they entered the camp 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. and surrounded the whole area. They were able to arrest 50 Liberians, 51 Liberians, including other nationalities, take them straight to National CRD headquarters in Accra. They spent the whole day there, and the following evening with the leadership went there to go intervene on their behalf. So we are highly recognized. They were doing their screening to shift out the ugly ones and the bad ones with offenses. A whole lot of laptops and telephones got missing during that raid that morning. So lastly, they freed all of them they turned them over to us.
So
there was no magnitude, they were not found guilty. So they turned them over to with the leadership.
So just to add up, I think that deployment started somewhere around 2 a.m. in the morning, where they will go to a resident's house and then knock on the door. Even if you delay, they will break in the door and then bring the family out, do search, and then come out. Sometimes if you delay, they will even beat you up. And so they are beating several Liberians who they also arrested and carried to Accra. And so it was a very pathetic situation on the camp. That particular day, those guys came, I hate to say, they were on the war front. They were dressed in masks, and they were all armed. So it caused people to be highly frightened. And up to now, we have some Liberians who are still off the life from the police and the torture.
Brutality.
Yeah.
So what you say when they enter, there were some, you say the police, did they allegedly stole laptops and phones? Is that what you're saying?
No, what happened is that we had some cafes on the camp.
Right.
So the guys sleep out from morning to night. So when they came during the hour of the night, they went into that cafe, and then those who were on duty, they decided to they took away their laptops, including those persons who were on duty that particular night for security reasons. So they took the laptops to check information, whether whatever laptop is, it have any relation to the criminal activities.
Okay. So you say all the Liberians, all those that were arrested that night, the news story I was watching now, it say 141 suspects were picked up. Are you saying all of them have been freed?
No, we are only specific on the Liberian because that's where our concerns are. Liberians, well, 51 in number. We have 6 female. The day they carry them, they spend about the whole night there. And then in the end, they asked the leadership to bring them back on the camp so that it can be reported the next day. So they were brought on the camp somewhere at 11 p.m. in the night. And then the next morning, we took them back for further investigation. And the day after that, in the end, they gave them and they acquitted them.
Okay. And who are those people? Are they people from who are they? Were they innocent, or they were doing people involved in any illegal activity?
No, they were all innocent Liberians, and who the police took from the comfort of their homes. And so when they do the assessment, I mean, they found nothing related to criminals, so they were able to just ask them to go back to camp.
There are some ghetto areas on the camp that we used to refer to as the gap. You earlier mentioned that sometimes the police come arrest people from the gap, take them to Kaswa and back. Where the 51%, where there's some people from the gap as well, including in the number.
Oh, hold on. From the onset, I said those criminals in the gap, before any radio on the camp, the same police was informed them. So before police come here, those guys will go.
So the 51, the gap people were not among them.
None of them. None of them.
Even 100.
Even 100.
The 100, the two from the camp, and none of them from the gap. Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing about the Buduburam Refugee Camp. My guest, we have Father Eddie Divine Hennings. He's a priest and president of the Liberian Association in Ghana. His secretary, Mr. Rense Bojue Kuya. We have other leadership members with them, including Avin, Mr. Jankaba, and the elder. And they are giving us, how things look like on the camp. So let me ask you to cover anything that we have not touched on that you need for people to know. And what is it that you want from Liberians, both in Liberia? What message you have for them? What message you have for our government? What message do you have for us here in the diaspora?
Well, thank you very much. The first thing I want to tell our Liberian people is that we need to hold together. Unification is the key to any developmental process and advancement of people. If we are not holding together to understand the plight of the next person, we'll play down on it, and look at the next person, and despise them for no reason. The second thing is to understand the situation and be able to support. We want to talk to our fellow Liberians out there that we need your support in every way. There are people on the ground that we need to help as leaders, and we are one people. We are asking you to grant us your support. The next thing is to help, to talk to agencies responsible for your people in exile, for your people who have come, and are here. It is no time, to say you don't care, but it's time for us to work together because we have an objective. We have our homeland to develop, and we all want to work in that developmental process. But unless we hold together to see the needs, as others have done, that for the working, and today their homeland returned to normal and is well developed or is developing. So we should have that same concept of holding together all of the time. We actually want again to emphasize that we have a program for we look up to.
Again, my message to fellow Liberians, the government of Ghana, and those of you living overseas, whenever Liberians in exile, especially those of us in refugee camps, we should first investigate And if we do our investigation and then know that our people are innocent, we should also give them the support that their voices will be heard instead of criticizing them firsthand or upfront. And then what we also need from them is to advocate on our behalf. We need a society where we live a life full of respect and dignity. We want to live in a country that will respect us as a people. We want to live in a society that will have regard for us as a national from let's say from outside in this sub-region. And since you guys are overseas, we want you to also connect to other international organizations so that our plight will be known, so that our voices will be heard, and then so that they can find solution to our crisis, because we are protracted Liberians in exile. Exactly. We don't love this life. We want change in our life. We want to live in a society where we will be respected and have dignity for our for ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you. In addition to that, Mr. Dennis, I am Mr. Moses Bale, Elder Moses Bale, ALICO Ghana. You talk about Plan B earlier. The only way we can go back to Liberia and help develop Liberia is when we get to our third country of asylum. Since you people are over there, we're appealing to you people and your team to advocate on our behalf. I think all has been said. Okay. To lobby around to get the necessary UN agencies to get some of us out of here. We are appealing to your agency, your team, platform. That's the only way we can able to go back home and develop. But from this end, we cannot go back to help develop the country. Thank you for your platform. Thank you for giving us this privilege of talking to you. Elder Moses Bale.
Thank you. And I got a caller on the line. I will bring in shortly. But what I want you to because a lot of people on the show that are asking questions, they still don't understand. I think the major thing is that they want you to focus on is how best what you need and how best that can be facilitated for you to return to Liberia. That's what a lot of those that are logging on that they are saying. So, but let me bring on one of our callers. Hello, caller. Your name and where you calling from?
Oh, my name is Benjamin. I'm calling from Minnesota. How are you?
I'm good. Your name again?
My name is Benjamin, and I'm calling from Minnesota.
You're calling from Minnesota, but I'm not getting your name clearly.
Oh, my name is Benjamin. Benjamin.
Oh, Benjamin. Benjamin, your question.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Yeah. So there was something that I first wanted to say. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the brothers who are on the other side of the line, and I appreciate them, being able to explain their plot. And having to also live through some of those things that I experience now, it can be a little bit traumatizing because I live on the camp almost about 14 years before I was able to travel. But there was one thing one of the brothers said that I don't know if he wants to travel and look at it again when he refers to the Ghanaians when he said they are xenophobic. I don't know whether he wants to address that issue again, because I think that's a strong language, because to associate that to a group of people who have hosted you for X amount of years, I think we want to rethink that again. I mean, yeah, it's Ghana has not been all good to us. We know there were some lapses, but if we were to grade them with regards to everything that they did, I think we would say they did pretty good to us as refugees. So I don't know if you want to address that again later. Yeah. That's it. But then the next thing I would like to talk to the fighter, because from what I am getting from him, there doesn't seem to be like there was not anything strategic that they are asking for. It's like it's just so general. Or when you ask him, what do you want for us? All of the statement that he's making, it is very general. So if there are anything that are looking, because you have to have a goal, but if your goal will be and just talk to the people? Why do you want us to talk to people about?
Thank you, Benjamin. And let
Right.
thank you.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Father Hennings, Edo Bali, and the rest of you.
Well, thank you.
You heard Benjamin.
Yeah. Yeah, we heard him.
Yeah, go ahead. Your response. He said, what you are asking for us to do is kind of general. You are not specific. And to the brother who spoke, I think it was Renzi, that said the Ghanaians are xenophobic. He said he too live in Ghana and said that's strong for someone who has hosted you for the past 30 years. Your response.
All right, let me talk on the xenophobic aspect. Currently, as we speak, all that is happening, it is predicated on that xenophobic behavior. Ghanaians know clearly that Liberians are not criminals. Clearly, we record their word. They know that refugees in Buduburam are not criminal, but they keep putting that on their media. Once you are from Buduburam, it is difficult, even if you go out there, for Ghanaians to have you employed. Here in Buduburam, they are even saying they want their land. They don't want Liberia on their land. They be saying that UN should take us away. And if you look at all of that, what are they saying that? Where do they find Liberians arrested or found in murder case? Nothing like that. But they're using the situation to say we are criminals, we want the land. In fact, there are some Liberians in the camp when they dress, they say Liberians are armed robbers. Where do they take money from? They dress this way. You understand? Even in the market. And the Ghanaians, how they buy from and the Liberians? They rather buy from the people. You know, so they don't even want Liberians to sell in the market. So here in Ghana, we have two sections of market where one side you see Ghanaians are dominant, the other you saw a few Liberians more than. So this kind of behavior you can tell. Let me put a record. It may not be 100% the entire Ghanaian population, but those who are interacting with us, that behavior is from them, and it's very clear. It's nothing that we can debate about. I don't know which part of Ghana, and he lives somewhere in Ghana, fine. It is not the entire Ghanaian society that have that, but where we find ourselves, things that people said about us, these are behavior that one can say, yes, is coming from xenophobia.
Right. And here is a story here. Crime rate in Buduburam,
Yes,
traditional authorities demand
Hello?
destitution of camp. Are you seeing the story?
Yeah, Brother Dennis.
Yeah.
Yes, we took back in this interview with this same fellow. Let me say something here. Before we came to this country, you know, the government of Ghana never wanted Liberian to come here. It was Jerry Rowland, you know, and his government at that time who made it possible, because the citizens totally refused, you know, to accept Liberians here. And it still goes on. One way or the other, they were able to, you know, to accept it because of you know, whatever were able to, he managed to convince them. And then when we came here, we carry on development in this place, and they saw it for themselves. But the same thing still go on about land issue. So it's not just a today matter pertaining to, you know, talking about people occupying the land. It has been before we came, and so it continues, and that is why it's affecting us. Now the situation is that we want the right thing to be done, and let our people look. There are connections that Liberians have abroad, that they can get to the right institution, you know, and talk about their own people here, the plight of their own people. I'm saying we need your support. We need the support of every Liberian, and not to just overplay the situation, you know, because when it comes to Ghanaian anywhere else, Ghanaian back their people and support them in every way. Now the issue that happened in just right here in South Africa, Ghanaians were able to speak out very vehemently about xenophobia in South Africa. When it happened in Gambia, they stood against it. So we need to stand together. What we want, a clear cut of what we want, is if the proper thing would not be done in Ghana to see to it that we have our facilities and all of those things that are supposed to give us. It is written in the UN laws that to turn the people back over to the UN for a third option. A third asylum that allows
Father Hennings,
yes.
Listen, let's see what the Ghanaian.
The elders that they should go and see the people at the Buduburam, because the Kwamkum is really Buduburam. So it was my uncle who gave the site to the Liberia people.
And they've been living there for a number of years now, but they've since been told to leave, haven't they?
Yeah. Oh, they have been told to leave. And even at all, much of them has gone.
What's happening in the camp now?
The camp, the camp really has turned like Langas.
A den of Langas.
Really a headquarters of this thing, Langas.
Why? From where?
From Lagos, from many tribes.
Lagos in Nigeria?
Nigeria people.
So this was an originally Liberian community.
Very good. Very good. They are still on.
The Liberians have not left?
At all. Even at all, they are now coming more.
So Liberians are in the camp?
Really?
Which other nationals are in the camp?
There's Sierra Leone, Nigerian, Togolese, Cote d'Ivoire.
You heard him, Cote d'Ivoire are there too, right?
Yes. These people, the Cote d'Ivoire that are talking about, I recognize people that are brought here, as refugees. So he does not have the insight of all of these things. The government brought them in because they are hosting them here as well, and they are recognized by the government.
Yeah,
all right. I just wanted to show that, to see what the people are saying. I know you have heard all of that.
Yes.
While you are in Ghana, and this I think there's a land dispute, but I want us to conclude now. Yeah, go ahead, Father Ernie.
Yeah, Brother Dennis.
They have different categories of refugees here, and those people didn't come here on their own. They were sent there by Ghana Refugee Board. The last time we went to the chief in the village, the leadership will become authority. And the chief of the village said they are only aware of Liberian refugee. Only Liberian they expect to live on the camp. So with those from Nigeria, from Sierra Leone, from Togo, they are not concerned about them. But then again, we have Ghanaians here who are living here. And these are guys who even doing harm to our own brothers and sisters, convincing them to be doing things they're supposed to do because of hardship. So there are things that are happening here. Some of the chief or people around don't know about. They will just feel that Liberians are doing all of these things. But there are a lot of national here. Okay. They are foreign. They're talking about they have approved by refugee board before coming here.
Is the government having any presence on the camp? Sometimes the president go to Ghana or ministers. Do they reach on the camp to see how you guys doing?
No.
Officially, no.
Even those that even came for you to become minister in Liberia, they didn't come back here.
And then one of the things here is that from the statement of the chief who was speaking that they have told us to leave, I want to appeal to you that if you can make a research to find a document that proves that they told Liberians to leave. They have never told us to leave this place.
Yeah.
All these things, according to what Brother Kuya said, is xenophobic. All these things is what they are using. They have never came out to tell a single Liberian to leave this place, for which he is saying that they told them to leave and he
Well, when somebody, there are plenty of ways to tell somebody to leave, just like you're in a relationship. If they
are still here, that have not.
Okay.
If you're not coming home, that means the man want you. So they don't have to put it in your face first. But I think to be fair is right now you cannot make a case for you to be settled in a third country of asylum. The case that can be made is for you to return to Liberia with the right conditions.
Yeah.
You know, so it will be easier to advocate for your return to Liberia with the right conditions. So what I think, you know, your emphasis should, you know, the area you should be focusing on more is what are the conditions you want to exist so that you can return home. Because you can make the argument to United Nations that you want to go to a third country of asylum if there is no war in Liberia, people are having elections and all that. The economic situation may be bad, but the case is not strong for economic migration. What are your thoughts?
Well, thank you. You know, the United Nations knows that very well when they're returning people home, the issue of education, you know, quality education, they know the issue of education, they know the issue of incentives that are given, you know, to individuals for for improving their lives, you know, in order to live a better life.
So those are the things you want to return home. Is that true?
Accommodation, the issue of accommodation is also you know, paramount.
Okay. All right. I mean, this is our first interview. We hope to do this again, and just to get a sense of how you guys are doing and what we can do as Liberians, because we are all one people, and what affects you affect all of us, and we must be able to join hands to solve this situation. You know, there's much you can contribute to our country. I know personally there are some friends, you talk to them, you say, oh, why don't you go home? The next question is, oh, why you two can leave America and go home? But it's not about that. It's about finding a way to solve the issue. So let's conclude, each of you, for at least 30 seconds. Just give me a final word so we can end the broadcast tonight.
Okay, thank you.
The leader Father Ernie will be last. So let's start from your far left.
Okay, I'm Dennis Guion. My final word would be, we are appealing to the international community, UNHCR, if for us to go home, we need quality education for our youth and incentive that will be good for us to return, and accommodation back home there. If those conditions are met, I don't think there will be a problem for people staying beyond Buduburam Camp receiving insult. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah. Thomas, I would like to appeal that our government, they have been dumping us, and it's so painful that your government, it is doing nothing, whereas we go at the embassy of Liberia. So we are appealing. We need a support. You know, so we are Liberian. Our good living and improvement will be a very good help to the building process of Liberia. That we give out a parable says that the water deer have a long tail as compared to dog, and it can kill dog. But whenever they are chased by dog, they are not running away from the dog because they are afraid of the dog. They are running away because of those that behind the dog with cutlass, because reindeer can kill a dog. So if we don't have a backing, we will always find ourselves into the issue. Even we are talking about going back home. I'm telling you, it's a serious obstacles to go back because they don't want to give us these incentives. You understand? Okay. So we are appealing to you, your platform, and the international, global agencies to pressurize our government to come in and do something about this situation.
Thank you. Thank you. Before the next person come in, Nelson Gay Wright, who was also on the camp, is asking, no more women live at the Buduburam Refugee camp. I think because he's looking at the leadership, all guys, no woman. All the women were defeated in the election.
No, that's all. Most of our ladies, you know, it just happened that they were not able to be here. Some of them have their very serious matter to attend to.
Okay. That's well understood. The next person before Father Ernest come in with his last words.
My name is Ransipuyat, Secretary General of ALICO Ghana. Once again, my final message to those of you out there is to give us all of your support, whereby should we return, we should do it in dignity and proud. We want to live in a society that is respected, or a society that will respect us just as we are, the people. And when you stand by us, we are strong in our situation. That's my message to you all there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elder Moses Bale again.
Elder Moses Bale, somebody asked if you were the police reporter in Liberia before.
Yes, my cousin Moses Bale. That's right.
Okay. My brother who asked the question, he can remember people. I never even remember. Go ahead, your last word.
I have okay, Mr. Dennis, your help to us here should be advocate on our behalf. Since you are in the Western world, you know exactly our problem. Advocate on our behalf. What is good for you is likewise good for us. But thank you very much for bringing us in your platform. Extend my greetings to my brothers are in Atlanta. Just ask for Bishop Bale.
Okay.
Olumba Church. They live in the eastern part of Atlanta. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Elder.
Well, thank you, Brother Dennis. It's a privilege, you know, and an honor to speak on this platform, to reach out to the greater audience out there. We also thank them for listening to us. Our appeal to them is that we need to hold on together. We need to support one another. When it comes to the issue of going back home, we are not afraid. We are willing at any time when the due process that we are all anticipating fail, the option is to go back home. And so we will be relying on them for all maximum support while we are here. And so whatever program we have before we go back home, let them support it. And when we're ready to go back home, let them give us the maximum support to talk to the government and other agencies to do the things that are right and appropriate for people to return. We are so grateful to all of them, and we bless them all. Yeah.
We are one people.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule. I know it's been tough even getting connected and putting this together. I appreciate your time so much. Let's keep in touch. Every now and then we want to hear from all of you and see how you are doing and how things are going on with you. Our country needs all of us. And so it's very important that we join resources, we join hands so as to make Liberia what it is today. I didn't even ask, because I know some of you are engaged in politics in Liberia, you are campaigning and you have your we didn't even get on that side. We didn't even talk about the latest, movie clubs on the camp, the soccer, and everything else. This was serious discussion. But next time, we will touch base on the things that we all love and see what are the old spots still there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
But thank you. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us. We are on Facebook, and we do this all the time. Like this Sunday, we're going to be interviewing people from other African countries, South Africa and Ivory Coast. We want to see how we Africans in the USA can all collaborate and work together to impact our country back home and also our communities here. Every Wednesday, we do our economic show. We talk about the economics of our country. Everything is about the economy. So we want you all to join us. We want people to to be part of the show. No matter where you are, you have expertise, you want to come on the show, and also we talk to you. But I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Good night, and God bless you. We want to thank all those who are watching us by Facebook. Thank you so much for your contribution. On behalf of my co-host, Danielle Knuckles-Guishard, and my guest relations manager, Stephanie Setro, and all of us here at Focus on Liberia, thank you for watching. Support us and keep tuned every Sunday and every other Wednesday. We will come to you.
Thank you, bro.
We want peace, we got to reconcile. Reconcile, we forget and forget. Reconcile.